Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to an extremely important episode in which, by the way, I will also gonna request your support from you as a player. And I'm gonna explain you in this episode how am I doing this testing, just in case more players out there actually wanna test this. We also gonna address this arena in which we are doing the testing in order to also explain to River Game why this tool should kind of have an emergency label on that. So this is a super important episode. So first of all, let's start by saying, whenever I have questions, the first person which I go to is Mr. Bob Griff, for a simple reason: knowledge is not negotiable. He has more, therefore I go to him, and I'm super happy to get to know him and start to debate with him on certain topics. So accordingly to Mr. Bob Griff, the best testing ground possible right now is actually the arena. But even in here, you're gonna see some slightly variations in results if you are comparing the battery ports from the left tab with the battery ports from the right tab. So you know what, let me explain you that even better, because we're gonna take the examples from yesterday between those two matches with Jester and Stromoy, and we find those values in order to see there is indeed a difference. So here are the match evaluations from yesterday's videos, and what you're seeing is on the left side with Jester and 11 attacks versus on the right side of the screen with Stromoy but only 10 attacks. And I really need these 10 attacks because also according to Mr. Bob Griff, theoretically speaking, in order to be even more accurate, and it's actually worth to do that, I have to cut down the spikes. So in other words, the first two best results and the last two worst results possible, I should eliminate those and actually circling this, as this is the performance. This represents how this match with Jester looks like. But I'm trying to make it even simpler for you guys, just to give you one single number. And when we now do the average on just 7 attacks, then we are reaching a match performance of 29.85, which is roughly 30%. And you can already see there is a difference between 30% and a 25% there. And let's do exactly this for the other side in order for you actually to see the difference, because just looking at the results now on the screen, you are seeing that Jester is literally twice as strong as Stromoy. And this is not extremely accurate. Let's do this for Stromoy also. So we have just only 10 attacks. So if I was to eliminate the first two best results and the worst two results, then I only have 6 attacks left. And if I do an average on that, I'm gonna end up on 52%. So in other words, we have Jester with roughly 30% versus Stromoy with roughly 52%, and you can already see right now this is no longer the case that Jester is twice as strong as Stromoy. Yes, Jester is absolutely a great hero, stronger than Stromoy in this configuration, but not twice as strong. And this is exactly the point in which you as a player can help us, can help me by simply sending a short message to River Game, either through in-game ticket or through your VIP services on WhatsApp, saying, guys, please watch the rest of this episode because Timmy, you know, that guy which is very misleading, is actually explaining you guys why we need this arena to give us far more tests. So yeah, I hope everybody understood why I need a minimum of 10 attacks, and the issue is of course these tickets which are regenerating very slow. And of course we send this feedback to the developers, and now we are entering to this part of this episode which is theoretically exclusively addressed to River Game. Hi, by the way, I'm Timmy, you know, that guy which is extremely misleading, which will gonna try his best to explain you the best way possible why we need this kind of as soon as you guys can implement it. Now, a certain amount of your customers, like me, are able to have a look at the hero and kind of approximate on paper, is this hero worth it, yes or no? But the vast majority of your customers, and I specifically don't use the word players, do not have this capability. So you either provide this data, which means in other words, these players should theoretically spam you with a lot of questions, or somebody else does that. Now, I truly understand why you cannot provide this data or have the time and employees to do so. But guess what? There are a lot of players out there, including Mr. Timmy, which is very misleading, offering you this service, by the way, free of charge, to take up this lot of community questions from the players to help them, because this is the perfect example to discuss this topic right now, because Jester is a fantastic hero. I love this hero, it's absolutely great. And let's have a look in here. What can I offer you? I can offer you a test versus Paul with level 5, versus Paul with level 7. I can offer you a test versus Gypsy with level 5, versus Gypsy with level 7, and so on and so on. But the problem here is, River Game, you are limiting me with this very slow regenerating tries. Now we have sent this feedback to the developers, and the honest answer which came back, guys, right now this is not possible. Now, this is a statement and I have to accept it the way it is, which means, in other words, it's probably the truth due to the code, because I don't know how this is actually coded. But River Game, how about we approach this in a different way? So remember when you brought the R&D event for the Titan gear, it was a good idea, but not kind of good enough. So what you done is you developed the Titan Blessing event, and as soon as that was ready, you took the R&D event down. So how about we do this for the arena? For the arena, of course, my preference would be to be as soon as possible, because at the end of the day, you have to imagine we are far more customers than we are players. And in other words, I'm coming to you, you show me an item and just the price tag. I have a lot of questions, but you as a company are not able to answer this question. And also on top, you are hindering massively players which could actually answer all these questions for the rest of the community for absolutely free. Now, with my limited knowledge in coding, I must also add in here, yes indeed, I am expecting that River Game cannot offer this to every single player to have unlimited hits, even players up level 10 or something like that, because that can produce a very high overload on data on the game engine. But there are for sure some smart ideas from you, River Game, like having an option for certain players, which you, by the way, have the freedom to choose will this player be, in order for us to be able to test as soon as possible. Because honestly speaking, there has been more than 12 hours since Jester came out, and I could have done all these tests. The only thing which hinders me, because I want to be as accurate as possible, are actually these tries. So anyways, beautiful people, don't forget to support what supports you back. This is this channel, and me personally since November 2022. And again, you want to support this, you want me to be able to answer all your questions with numbers, then I must be able to test that. So you want to help us with that, send a friendly ticket in game to River Game saying, how about you watch this video and his explanation why we need this tool. And of course, River Game, I hope I was clear enough why we need this tool, and hopefully in this episode I was slightly less misleading. So beautiful people, yeah, subscribe to this channel, support this channel, share it with your friends, and I will gonna catch you in the next one. And you're seeing here we are close to 10 hits, which means, in other words, the next March is gonna be Meowzilla with Stromoy and Lila. And of course, yes, we're gonna test Crimson. Of course, we also gonna test versus Gypsy, versus Po, level 5, level 7. Bear with me, people. I'm here and I'm gonna do this for you. So ciao guys, thank you for watching.